welcome to my channel. Well, I took this cotton sampler and I put it on the WorkSharp belt grinder and put a convex edge on it, and I've spent the last hour or so looking through blade forum discussion topics about convexed edges, advantages and disadvantages. Now, I'd like to say in the end, ultimately, a sharp knife is a sharp knife. You know, I'll tell you some things I learned about using that WorkSharp. All right, now most of us are used to like let's say this is the edge of a knife. You know, let's say this is a flat grind, right? Go up like, yeah. That's your knife edge. It's not that great drawing. All right. This is a convex edge. It's a curved edge, all right? And one of the things you can see is that less metal is being taken off if it initially had if you're putting the initial grind on. If you're going to try to turn a flat into a convex, then you're going to have to, you know, take some more metal off to make it. Let's see if we can make a convex in here. Right? To make a point. The advantage to this is what I got out of all this trying to read back and forth. People are into semantics and talking about what's a convex and what's a parabolic arc, and oh my God. But anyways, what I was trying to figure out is which one will get dull faster, a flat grind or a convex? And it looks like a convex will maintain its edge longer because it has more material behind it, you know. A flat grind is prone to microchipping and stuff like that because you don't have as much material behind supporting the edge, you know. It comes to a V type of point. Now, some people try to get the best of both worlds by putting one angle here and then another angle here, because what you're doing is, if you look at it, a V type of thing, the friction of material going through it is going to increase until it reaches this bevel. Here, it's just going to push it away. So theoretically anyways, it doesn't matter in the end, you know. If you get your knife as sharp as you want it and you can maintain it, some people are saying they have a hard time maintaining a convex edge in a field. Have you ever sharpened an axe? That usually has a convex edge, you know, and it's not that hard to do. But anyway, what I learned from sharpening this from basically a V edge to a convex edge is it still comes in handy using that magic marker along the edge. Ooh, I almost got myself, because this sucker is wickedly sharp now. Because eyeballing it, you may think you're following what it's grinding off, but if you've got a black edge along there and the rest is shiny, then you know you still need to take off more material, and it can take a while. This took working on it during one night. Here's something else I learned. Use your coarsest edge material first on your grinder. Don't start off with, this is like the polishing one. This is what I do a lot of times. I'll start off with the polishing one, and I'll look at it, because I don't want to take off too material. This is pretty aggressive, right? So I'll start off with a polished one, and it'll hit up way up here. You know, it'll be taking off the ink maybe up here or something. And on this one, the WorkSharp that I've got is the one that, it's not the kin onion one. This is the 20 and 25 degree angle one, which has worked fine for me. I don't see any need to go to the kin onion one, but if you want to, that's fine. I'm just saying this one here is working out great for me on stuff like this, because if you try to do it on if you try to flat grind this, first off, its angle is a little bit hard, so you're going to have a hard time. And if you do it by hand, it's going to take a while. So a machine helps out with a lot of the stuff. And yeah, that's all I learned basically. Is I look at it and I could see just a slight black mark along the edge along here somewhere, and a little bit more up here. And because I'm a perfectionist, you know, on this, you know, if I'm doing it, if I spend all this time, that's what I look at. If I spend hours working on an edge, you know, why give up at the last second? But you're tempted a lot of times. You're thinking, this is close enough. That's not really a good example there. It's a double piece of paper and it has plastic. And let's get something else here. But yeah, this cotton sampler now is, look at that, it's good at pull cuts, and it can also do push cuts on the edge. Let me get over here. Let's see if we can get it. I worked on this edge for a while. It's not, the front edge is not as good as I'd like it to be. I gotta watch myself doing this because I'm gonna cut myself. Yeah, it's not as good as push cut on here, but once you get it going, it's sharper than it was. Let's put it that way. So yeah, that's what I was working on for quite a while, was just sharpening this guy up. And you have the advantage of, this is kind of like the advantage of a tanto blade, you know. You have a secondary edge up here. So you can do all your cutting up here, but you keep this one sharp, or you can use this one for scraping, and it really is good for scraping. Yeah, it's just interesting to take a different type of, you know, knife edge. See, this is how you look at a convex. You kind of like roll it, but you can see that light reflecting off of it. See how this up here didn't get quite as good? Because I'm thinking, I'm not going to do a lot of stabbing cuts and all that, as long as it comes to a point. And this here, there was a big gap, you know, that I had to take more metal off. Like I said, it's just, how critical do you want to be with your edge? Well, I wanted it to be sharp, but it doesn't necessarily have to be hair shaving sharp. For me, as long as I got a working edge on it. So yeah, that's what I learned, is start off with your coarsest belt. If you see that you're not gonna, I usually leave a fine belt in the machine. See, this is the machine, the WorkSharp machine. There's just a little flip back there that changes this angle from 20 to 25, or 25 to 20, the way you want to look at it. And I think I set this one up for 20 degree edge on it, because I figured it was going to do, and it can do some chopping too. But yeah, it's still, it can take out, you know, little curls, but see, the advantage of a Scandi grind or zero grind is that it works pretty well with wood. The disadvantage is the blades usually got to be pretty wide to support that, you know, going down to zero. And that makes it kind of thick and obtuse, you know, for cutting stuff like food prep and everything. But that's the advantage of knives and knife shapes. There's one out there for whatever job. If it's skinning muskrats, we got you covered, you know. If you're a trapper, well, kind of an all-around knife. Stockman, cheese knives, butter knives, you know, kitchen knives. If you like knives, there's a knife out there for you somewhere. And this is a different kind of cotton sampler. I'd never seen a huge one like this, or a fixed blade. but I think this is a cotton sampler style, not really a cotton sampler used by somebody that was actually doing that job, because you're lacking this unsharpened spine. This is really not long enough to test threads. Maybe you could do it on the back of the spine. It could probably work. Like I said, you're going to have to sharpen it when you first get it. So anyway, there you go. I just wanted to show you that's what I've been up to. That's what I was doing. And I've got another knife to review for you, but I just wanted to get this one out of the way. So that's what I learned. I'll include a picture or two of the knife during the process where I have some black along the edges where I'm still working on it. But there you go. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.